Welcome to Geeks in Space. I'm Rob.
Good job, Chris. Welcome to Geeks in Space. Enjoy your morning cup of coffee. Click the subscribe button and like button and subscribe to our Patreon if you want us to simulcast as a podcast. I am Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I am here today with a quadvirate? What? A quadret?
Just say group.
Yeah.
A barbershop quartet.
A parliament.
A parliament.
A crash.
Murder.
A pestilence. A pestilence.
Did you ever read? There's a really good article, but it lists all of those different definitions and like what the historical like the historical source of all those words. And basically, it was just like this pretentious little thing in the 1800s that stuck.
Yeah.
Well, yep. I mean, it's probably a result of Linnaeus. Whenever you have a weird thing like this in the world of science, it's Linnaeus, right? Like when you wonder why like the scientific name of something sounds like a body part, it's Linnaeus.
Pretty much any issues with classification, we should just blame all on Linnaeus, regardless of whether it's, biology or not.
To be fair, though, I also blame him for global warming, the rise of the alt-right.
Lamarck is responsible for global warming. The Earth is getting warmer because it wants to get warmer.
Hot air, man. Gentlemen, would you like to say your names?
I'm Jeff Bates.
I'm Chris DeBona.
I'm Rob Roseboom.
Did everybody have a glorious holiday weekend?
It's okay.
It was fine.
It was nice-ish. The part with my wife and kid was cool.
Yeah.
My kids are back in school today, and it might be the single greatest day of my life.
What about previous days that they went back to school?
Everyone somehow seems greater than all that came before.
Every day they go to school is Rob's best day of his life.
Best day ever.
That's the way it goes.
That's really living your best life then, because tomorrow is going to be an even better day than today. Heck, they'll go to school all day tomorrow.
I know. Today's a half day. Tomorrow's a whole day.
Today's a half day?
Today's a half day. So tomorrow I will have 3 additional hours in which to do whatever I want. And I got to tell you, there's a pretty darn good chance it's going to be a nap.
In other cases, though, Linnaeus did use his power as the world's preeminent taxonomist to insult people he didn't like. The most famous example is Siegbeckia, a genus of weeds known for exuding a nasty-smelling substance. That genus is named for fellow botanist Johann George Siegbecke.
Huh.
Well, that tradition continues. They just named a spider who had a big orange lump on its head after Trump. So
this is like reading Encyclopedia Dramatica circa 1737. Why would Linnaeus want to punish Siegbecke by naming a smelly plant after him? Well, in December 1737, Siegbecke condemned Linnaeus' categorization of plants by their sexual organs as, quote, loathsome harlotry. And so in revenge, he started naming terrible things after him.
I think the important takeaway lesson here is loathsome harlotry is going to be my new description for any projects I don't like.
Right?
That's a really good phrase. That's right up there. One of my favorite lines from the movie Network is something to the effect of, are you impugning my cocksmanship? And for some reason, loathsome harlotry is right up there with impugning cocksmanship.
All right, add the warning. No kid should watch this.
Ever. Well, folks, nobody's watched Dark Crystal.
Nope.
It's got 90 on Rotten Tomatoes right now, so I'll probably be starting that soon.
Is that before or after your nap?
Well, I have to. Actually, you know what? The wife doesn't want to watch it. I can watch the Dark Crystal at my leisure, but I can't watch it today because by the time we're getting done recording, my children will be back, and I will then return. I will be thrust back into the darkness
of parenthood. Yeah.
Yes. Because propagation of the species is awesome.
But half days are not.
No, that's just not fair. Hi, Nate.
Hey, guys.
Oh, hey, it's Nate. Introduce yourself, Nate.
I'm Nate. I found out today that when your laptop is in battery saving mode, it won't power up your webcam and microphone if you don't have a power source attached. So
sounds like extraneous gadgetry.
Yep.
That sounds like a terrible laptop.
My entire news stream lately has been Hong Kong related stories. which is, I suppose, not surprising. But they had a couple that actually fall into our purview, I suppose. One is the use of Bridgeify, which is an app that uses Bluetooth peer-to-peer messaging. And the crowds are now using that to circumvent. I mean, I suppose it doesn't get you around the Great Firewall, but it does get you at least around being blocked.
It depends on if you're within 30 feet of being outside the Great Firewall.
But it operates on like a peer-to-peer mesh. So in theory, you can broadcast. Like apparently, the article that I put on Taco Zone said that the major use case for this was originally sports events, because you can get a stadium full of people broadcasting over Bluetooth, and you don't, destroy every possible network connection with everybody getting their tweets or whatever. I like the idea that technology will ultimately overcome.
I'm kind of curious on how it works. It seems to take several seconds to every time you want to pair a new Bluetooth anything. So I'm sort of curious on how that works with mesh networking.
It's true.
Well, so here's the thing. We've seen some other products that work like this over Bluetooth or over local Wi-Fi, and don't require that you traverse to some American server to work. And they're always used during like the Arab Spring. They're used during the revolutions, and then the second the revolution's over, Nazis take over. So, it's like it becomes like this hive of villainy.
So wait, are you saying that
well-known.
Unrestricted Bluetooth use leads to National Socialism? Is this the correlation?
Stalin was a huge proponent of 802.11b.
I want to specifically say to my friends in revolutions everywhere, no, I'm not calling you Nazis. I'm just saying that
You'll become
like them. Every time this happens, no, your network will be used by Nazis who are like, finally, a network that can't kick me off. And then
so your argument is
that Stalin wasn't a fascist; he was a communist. Rob,
I just selected an arbitrary bad guy. It didn't seem like Hitler was a fair choice. He was
stop Stalin, Rob.
Whoa.
I'm really trying to lend into this.
I did not see that coming.
Yikes!
You did not see this coming.
Believe you said that.
Well, it's like the ABCs and Andropov, Brezhnev. Yeah. All right.
So I guess our homework is to install Bridgeify and see how fast the pairing process is.
Yeah. Meantime before Nazi.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. It is true. But I mean, that happened to, what was it? What was the anonymous one that was super popular on campuses? Yik Yak or Yak Yik.
Yeah, Yak Yak, and before it secretly.
I mean, it's a recurring thing, right? You create a system, you get popular enough to get in trouble, you get shut down, or people get bored and move on because there's enough surveillance that it no longer has the anonymity that you crave to be a douchebag.
Yep. Now you just communicate through interpretive dance on TikTok.
Yep.
Hey, come on. We've all moved on to Visco.
My far right-wing ideas can be effectively communicated with interpretive dance.
It's true. The other Hong Kong story that was interesting to me is, there's been a lot of interesting stories related to the Chinese disinformation campaigns, but they've been busted apparently buying a ton of old disused Twitter handles.
Yep.
And including a bunch of porn. They had a bunch of predominantly porn-based Twitter handles that the Chinese government or some affiliated entity has bought and is now using to propagate some anti-protest sentiment, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's classic disinformation campaigns all over again.
I couldn't figure out why Riley Reid was talking about the oppression of the West, but it makes sense. She would know.
Just because they're in the adult world of filmmaking doesn't mean they don't care about the plight of the worker or something.
I understand that was actually what Engels was talking about. That's when he refers to Loathsome harlotry, of course, in his argument.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Joker. So Joker is getting incredible reviews.
Somebody saw it.
Well, people have been seeing it at film festivals in Venice and Telluride, and apparently it is insane-o good. Like, they're saying best movie of the year, like incredible. Don't even miss Batman in the slightest, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah, as long as you don't go into it.
Driver.
Yeah, well, as long as you don't go into it expecting a tie-in to the actual comic book hero, Batman, you're fine. So
I think that Joker would find you a loathsome harlot for calling him a hero. He would never consider himself thus.
Well, actually, in this one, he is supposed to be sort of unlikely hero. They cast Thomas Wayne as a Trumpian sort of character, and you kind of root for him and watch him descend into madness through the movie.
Wait, who's playing Thomas Wayne? I saw like the trailer. It's not what's his name, right? De Niro, right?
No, De Niro plays like some talk show host, kind of Johnny Carson-ish guy.
Hey, everybody. Okay.
Yeah, I would kind of like the world where Robert De Niro runs a talk show. I could go for that.
No, they did that in Casino, where he ran a talk show as the casino runner guy, and it was honestly it takes any desire to watch Robert De Niro run a talk show out of you because it's so hard to watch, And I know that's layers, but still. So
I'm trying to figure out, is it format or is it De Niro on the talk show? Like, what was most reprehensible to you about this?
I don't know. So I have to tell you that. So like the cast of this thing, Zazie Betts, you've got Paperboy. Yeah. It's like half the cast of Atlanta's in this thing. It's like, it's really something.
So did we talk about the Trump tweet of the satellite photo last week?
No.
That's a weird one.
Unless
that's not weird.
Unless Bates forgot to upload the episode. I'm just saying.
It happens like hundreds of times.
No, I had to delete it under national security orders. I don't even think it's that weird. Like, Trump doesn't understand technical specifications and then tweeted out something he wasn't supposed to, even though I'm sure people don't do that. And now, what is it, K-11s?
To be perfectly fair, the photo he used had been checked off. It wasn't top secret anymore. It had been cleared. But it wasn't supposed to be disseminated to the entire public. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. Like, you hand it to Trump and you're like, okay, if it drops out of your folder, everything's okay, but don't show it to people.
We're going to airdrop this to you, Trump. Just don't put it on Twitter. Right. He's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And he goes to the bathroom. I'm like, fuck it. It's like, dude, just stop. Just stop being president. You're bad at it. Everyone thinks you're bad at it.
What I liked most in the story was the experts they got who looked at it and figured out the pixel resolution of the camera that they must have been using. That was actually pretty cool.
Right. And they figured out which satellite it was. They figured out the resolution of it, both the classified and the unclassified statements on it. And it's just like, oh, man, this is really something.
It's pretty amazing. It was, they worked it out. It's satellite 224. So now everybody knows,
which is just over there.
Yeah. No, it'll pass me in a minute.
I thought SpaceX collided with that one.
Did you see that story?
That was my next story.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll shut up.
So let's go there. SpaceX was apparently at risk of colliding one of their satellite, their internet satellite constellation. With some EU or some ESA satellites.
Yeah.
And they refused to get out of the way.
So they're like,
no, you move. We're not going to move. You move.
It was a 1 in 1,000 chance of a collision, which is 10 times above what you are supposed to normally move. Well, like 1 in 10,000 is all right, well, we're not going to move, whatever, let's roll the dice. And SpaceX is like, nah, whatever, we're at a 10x risk. Nope, we're not moving for you.
Well, no. So also, can I just point out, this is very frustrating. I'm going to talk about the Kessler syndrome again. So The problem with this region of space is that you need to accommodate when your satellite goes bad, right? Because you're not guaranteed of getting chewed up in the atmosphere, right? They're too high up. There's not enough friction to, by default, pull them back down to Earth when they fail. So this thing smacks into another satellite and destroys it. Those pieces can go up, as well as come down, and deny us access to space for 20 years because they're like, hey, what? I don't know. Let's go a little higher. And it's like, anyway, sorry. I don't want to go on about this. I did a whole presentation about this a couple of months ago, but it's
wasn't
like,
that different? What was it, like 2 or 3 years ago, where the Chinese, they blew up one of their satellites as a weapons test?
Yeah,
and just
the
sent
Indians
stuff everywhere.
That was the Indians. But then 3 or 4 years before that was the Chinese.
Yeah.
Like 12 years before that was the Russians, and 10 or 15 before that was us. And every time it was damn irresponsible, just for the record. I'm not like excusing him, but the Indian test, like, it had people in the space community really upset.
And now that it's so cheap, well, relatively cheap to launch a satellite, this is something that's just going to end up happening over and over again in the next few years,
Starlink's going to be 4,000 satellites, I want to say.
Yeah.
Starlink. And it's like 4,000 satellites, all of which have the attitude of, no, you move. It's not going to be good.
Yeah.
I remember I saw a chart at one point during that Indian one where they had the number of objects being tracked that were larger than some threshold, and that test put like it's just this clearly visible gigantic bump in the number of objects that now we have to track and worry about if we want to stay in orbit.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. It's there's a lot of cost to doing business, I guess, up there. I'm not worried because I have the repulsor shields that I installed on space station.
I really have been meaning to tell you about that. We just told you those are repulsor fields. That's just actually empty soda bottles, dude.
That explains why they all say Fago.
I know we told you it was the Fago brand of repulsors and that we got it as part of a loyalty sale, but we've just been lying to you.
We just got so many points.
But it turns out the Juggalos aren't very good at protecting the ship from satellites.
Yeah, or cosmic rays. We probably should talk about your sperm.
This is not what we say. I am now at risk. So you're telling me that Fago cans will not protect me from Indian debris or SpaceX satellites.
And your junk is now bad.
Yeah.
And my junk is no good. You are impugning my coxmanship.
I am. Well,
if it weren't for the loathsome harlotry of SpaceX, this never would have been discovered.
The loathsome harlotry of SpaceX. That'll be my next, in-game name for something. There'll be a lot of.
It's going to end up being the title of this episode since I just put it in my notes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did I have anything other that's cool to us to talk about this week? There is a deepfake video where somebody put Tobey Maquire into the Far From Home trailer.
All right, that's pretty good. I mean, I did see the Chinese app that lets you insert yourself into all sorts of different movies. Like we are definitely on the cusp of deepfake everything, but Tobey Maquire in Far From Home is,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I also have a weird one on there, which is maybe more of interest to some of us than the other. But there's a story on there in praise of X Logo. The old X11 demo app. And you should read that article. It's just stupid things that you can do with X Logo. And it's actually pretty amusing.
I did like how he used it as his color picker because, the most efficient way to get a certain color is to type in X Logo TAC BG hex code. And then there pops up right on your screen.
Right. Think about how long it would actually take you to launch the GIMP and open a new blank document, get out the color picker. I mean, that's a 60-second operation.
Did I remember correctly? Is someone forking the GIMP to give it a new name? I think I remember seeing something about this in the last few weeks.
That should have happened.
It's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. Because that is definitely a piece of software that really probably should have been. That's better.
They want to change the name to Glimpse. So,
or at the very least, a new logo to reflect the name better.
Rob, your adherence to truth in advertising is, I think, one of the best moral qualities that you
just
have.
A black face with a zipper for the mouth.
Or I'm not an artist, but yeah, something like that.
But I mean, talk about a identifiable from space icon. I mean, instant brand recognition.
No one would think that was Photoshop.
Yeah. No, they really wouldn't.
It's true.
Oh, Nate.
Also, Jack Dorsey got his Twitter account hacked.
He got SIM hijacked, I guess is the...
That's true.
Yeah.
He got incompetent... I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about that.
No, he got...
It's just so dumb. It's so dumb. It's just... we should just change his name to Peter Principal Dorsey. It's like, how? I mean, it's kind of breathtaking. Like he is like a toilet paper attached to his shoe, like away from just hitting every mark.
What I love is that while he was getting hacked, he, and not all of them, but most of Twitter's senior management team was at Burning Man. That is just such a perfect juxtaposition of everything. Like, oh, you're at Burning Man along with the billionaires who are trying to not look like billionaires. And
of course you are.
Fire and you're getting hacked because of course you are.
Wasn't like your boss's boss there too?
My boss's boss.
No, I assume Sergey went.
Boss. Yeah, but it's like three. I have like
boss's boss.
Two.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah, I think it's like 3 layers. But then Sergey technically works for Larry, so it's like my great boss.
It's like a transfer.
No, here's the thing.
Wait. He's your second cousin thrice removed. I think that is the.
No, they enjoy Burning Man. No, there's a lot of people. I know a ton of people go to Burning Man. I used to sort of think, sand, ew, gross. But yeah, I know a lot of really nice people who go, and they love it. So let's let people be.
I tell you, man, and this is the honest truth. I would love to go. And if there was a teleportation device that allowed me to snap my fingers and appear in the center of Burning Man and walk around there for 8 hours, then snap my finger and disappear, I'd go. But I don't want to camp there. I don't want to live there, and I don't want to drive there. Well,
they do have an airport. They stand up during Burning Man. You can fly in and go to your camp and fly out in like a Cessna. It's like you find a friend who flies a small plane.
Just take your steampunk dirigible and I mean, it'll take a while to pedal there, but
also I love the monocle that you have now put as the side of your dirigible.
I got a lot of spare time. My kids are in school now for like 7 hours a day, so I got plenty of time to pedal my dirigible out over Burning Man and jump down.
Yeah. I could see going to Burning Man like after Liza goes to college or something. I don't know. But yeah, it seems really. There's just some nice people there, and I
love the art stuff. I love the building. I love
what's not to love.
I love all those things. However, the idea of actually trying to get there strikes me as a nightmarish hellscape.
It's the 4,000 professional jugglers there that really put a damper on it. At least for me. I mean, I love the steampunk aesthetic. It's just those people have ruined it.
Yes, when they're juggling.
The jugglers in particular. Yeah.
Wait, did you say juggler or juggalo?
No, jugglers.
No, we agree that juggalos are probably pretty good people. They're just trying to be themselves, man.
Yep.
I'm in a very tolerant mood today. Let's.
Hey, I had one more thing, which was for Jeff. I don't know if you read The Secret History of Dune. I shared that on the Twitter. Then we don't need to talk about it if you didn't read it.
But We will talk about it Thursday. The other thing that I wanted to note is that Tim O'Reilly's very first book that he ever wrote, this is before O'Reilly and Associates, is a short monograph about Frank Herbert, which he has now made available free online. I'll find the link for it. I own a first edition copy of it. What is particularly great is I didn't realize until I had read it that it was the same Tim O'Reilly. I was like, oh, that's someone, whatever. It's from Boston. There's probably a lot of Tim O'Reillys. But nope, it was the same Tim O'Reilly. So, yeah, fun doing facts.
Well, so if we're bringing up famous first books, first non-famous first books of famous authors, Neil Gaiman's first book was not a monograph. It was a fan book about Duran Duran that he wrote on the back. I forgot
about that. Yep.
He was very hungry back then.
He was young and needed the money.
Yeah.
Nate did the right thing.
What?
Duran. Paperbacks are available from $583.01.
Wow, that's pricey.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I have 45 minutes before my children return from school. I'm going to go squander them in my workshop or something. Shall we gather again on Thursday?
We shall. Thank you
all.
all.
I'll be coming from a different nation. So, yeah.
Do they have internets there? Or are you going to be coming at us via Bluetooth peer-to-peer?
No, I think it should work out. We'll see. We'll see.
Well,
but I'm not going to sign it clearly. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been talking about this stuff.
I'd like to thank Jake for listening.
Thanks, Jake.
You bastard! I wanted to thank Jake, but let me thank Jake on Thursday. How about that?
All right. We're going to take turns thanking Jake. All right, I'm going to put up the slide while you guys say your goodbyes.
Goodbyes.
Bye.
See you guys.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to episode 376 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Mall to do all the obligatory things that you are supposed to do. If you subscribe to our Patreon and to our Indiegogo, then maybe someday
do we have a Patreon?
We don't have any of that crap.
Okay.
We don't even have Jake.
This is not how we're making a living, Mr.
Wait a minute.